Welcome to this tutorial for Project 3.2, Create Simple Shades in the AutoCAD 2020 program. The estimated time for completion is 10 minutes. In this project that we're supposed to do, we will create several simple shapes using the line command as shown in figure 3-2. So it gives you a picture of what it should look like as a final product. Number one says open simple2.dwg, so open files. Go to simple2.dwg, open. I'm going to automatically save it as what it should be saved as for my class. So save as. And we're going to do Brown underscore Curtis underscore project 3.2. Enter. Okay, so we got that taken care of. Step 2 says use the line command to draw the shape shown in figure 3-2. Use the lower left corner of each shape as the starting point and draw the shape clockwise. All right, so here it wants us to draw clockwise around. Use the close option for the last line segment. You can select any point on the screen as starting point. The exact coordinate location does not matter. If you make a mistake on one segment, use the undo option. Save and close the drawing at the end. All right. So here it's telling us to move clockwise, but once again, as I said in the other project, it doesn't really matter which way you draw it. You can draw it clockwise or counterclockwise. Either way is fine. So I'm gonna go up to my line command. It tells us that it doesn't really matter where we can start, but I always have a habit of starting at the origin. So I'm gonna input 0, tab 0. That way it locks us into the origin, right? And then I'm going to do the first one, that bottom left bracket. So I'm going to go clockwise this time, and I'm going to go up 5, over 3, up 2, to the right 7, down 2, 3, down 5, 2. Notice I'm doing it fairly quickly, and you may not be as fast as me because I've been doing it for a while now. But as long as that crosshair is on that green line and that green line is showing, you don't have to worry about the angle. Even if you notice my crosshair isn't exactly on that green line, and doesn't have to be. As long as the green line is showing, AutoCAD knows that that line's supposed to be horizontal. So this should be 2, enter. To make a point here of a mistake, so if you look at number 2 in the instructions, the last bullet point says, if you make a mistake on one segment, use the undo option. I'm going to make a mistake like this, like, oh crap, what do I do? If you like hit escape and get out of the command, it's going to automatically cancel everything. So what you want to do, right click, and right here you want to hit undo, and it only undoes the last segment that you just made. So it takes you back to like, okay, good. I don't have to erase everything and restart it. Like I said, just hit right click, right there is undo. So I'll make a mistake again. I'll make a couple mistakes. I can keep hitting undo until I get to where I want to go. Right there. So we're good. All right. Supposed to go up 3 and go over 9 and then go down 3 again. And then instead of finishing it where I started, right click, hit close. It finishes the drawing line command and also finishes the bracket. So it brings that line straight over to the origin. The next piece, it doesn't tell you where you should start it. But maybe what I would do to keep things consistent, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to try to at least line it up with this corner here. So I'll do my best. The way I can do that, if I look at my dynamic input, notice that it gives me where my crosshair is actually placed at. If I wanted to line up on the same plane, like if this was a level surface going across, I want to place that. Let's say I want to place it right there. Notice my crosshairs are like 15.5 for X. I'm going to type 16, and I'm going to tab over, and I'm going to type 0 because I want that to be right on the X axis. So at least I know that my two objects are going to be lined up at the bottom there. So it looks similar to what it would look like in the textbook. It doesn't have to be exact. It says that in the textbook, but I like to try to make things as organized as possible. So now we're going to go clockwise. So I'm going to go up 4, over 1, 2, over 4. And then this one, as long as your cursor's in the bottom, going to the bottom right from that last location we just made, bottom right corner of that, I'm going to type 5 for the length, tab over, and I want the angle to be 53 degrees. Enter. I go down 2, and we're going to finish the command. So we're going to do close. And that finishes that object and also gets us out of the drawing command. As far as the next shape at the top, if you look at the textbook, it has no really reference point in terms of where it would line up really with anything. So I'm just going to pick a point to start with. So I'll use the line command. I'm just going to pick right here. I'm going to just click it. It doesn't really matter where it's at. And then we're going to go clockwise direction. So we're going to go up 3. We're going to have an angle. So the length is 4. Tab over to the angle being 30 degrees. Enter. Over 10. We're going to go down at an angle of 30 degrees. So the length is 4, and we're going to tab and do 30. If you look at the textbook, the angle that it gives you is that angle with respect to, I don't know, it's the angle with respect to the different angle there. So if you look at the way AutoCAD is projecting its angle, and you look at the way the textbook is projecting its angle, based off the rules of geometry, the opposite interior angle for parallel lines. If I have a bisecting line that crosses 2 parallel lines, opposite interior angles will have the same value. So looking at the book's picture of the angle with respect to the picture that's shown in AutoCAD, the way it's shown there, as long as those 2 angles are the same, it'll give you the same angle. So 30 is what I want. Hit enter. All right. And then I'm going to go down 3. And then I'm going to close the object. Close will finish the command. And that finishes my project. All I got to do now is I can save it. So right now I can tell it's not saved because the asterisk is there. Save. Once the asterisk goes away, I know that it's now saved. One thing I also want to point out, if I zoom in or pan around, notice that the asterisk comes back. Changing the view in AutoCAD also it's considered like a command. So it's helpful to make sure you're not too far out, because I may look at this and be like, well, there's nothing there, and I give you a 0 for the assignment. Same thing. Don't make sure you're not too far in zoomed in, because I may look at it and say there's nothing here to grade. Make sure you zoom extents and at least show me everything that you made in the picture before saving. And now that's a completed file. So now you can upload that to Google Classroom and you are complete. And that ends this tutorial for Project 3.2.